Hi everyone, my name is Mindy and I'm really sorry about this video quality. I don't have a fancy camera, just a MacBook. I don't really make YouTube videos, but I think this one is important because, like many of you, I am kind of freshly engaged and in the process of planning my wedding. So I will go ahead and start out that I do not have my complete dress yet, so if you're hoping to see a video that has the finished product in it, I will be posting one of those after my wedding. So for a lot of people that will be seeing this now, it will be in 2019 in October, so a year from now, which a lot of people don't still have a year to spare before starting their wedding dress design. So for the people of 2022, you're welcome. Anyways, I got engaged back in May of 2018. I did a lot of wedding dress shopping for the 3 months after. I went to about 5 to 6 boutiques, tried on about 80 to 70 dresses, like it was a lot, and was severely underwhelmed by pretty much all of them. I kind of came to the conclusion that there wasn't like really one dress that I loved, and I wish I could piece together parts of dresses, and that's when my friend told me about Anomalie. She hadn't actually used the service herself, but she saw pictures on Instagram, and they had this really awesome feature where I could send in pictures of dresses that I loved, and I will include those pictures below so you can kind of understand what they're looking for, but also how the process worked for me. They had me submit pictures through text, and then they gave me a quote. The quote ended up being $1,500 to $1,600, and a lot of the dresses I had tried on were between like $800 and $2,200, which is a huge range. So one thing you really need to be firm about yourself is setting a budget for your dress, because I didn't really do that. I kind of thought, whatever I like, that's just going to be the one. And that's a horrible way to go about it, because if you're like me and you're occasionally a spendthrifty person, it's weird to put on a dress and you're like, oh my god, this is $2,700. Do you know how much like sushi that is? How many electricity bills? And like, I'm the kind of person that would do that. I think I actually told my fiance at one point, like a dress I had tried on that I told him that I kind of liked until I saw the price tag, and I was like, that is like hundreds of Chipotle bowls. Hundreds. Significantly less sodium, but that was just something that I didn't do well. So I highly recommend you sit down and figure out how much you not can spend on a dress, but actually want to. Because once I would put on dresses and I was like, oh, it's beautiful, and I found out the price tag, and that's when it hit me. I'm like, it's not worth it to me. So it became a waste of time to try on those more expensive dresses, because as soon as I heard the price, I just like, no, don't care, don't want it. So I finally did set my budget, and anyone who wants to reach out, I'm not that super sensitive about talking about money. I set my budget pretty much after I got my total cost for my dress and kind of came to terms with it and was like, yeah, I can do that. My total dress came out to be $1,400. That included everything. Everything from Anomalie. I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not sure about alterations. So I'm sorry for that tangent, but back to how I first got into the design. I set up a call with them, so you go online and you just sign up for a quick account. They don't spam you, so don't worry about like sending them an email. One thing, if you're like really fresh and new to wedding planning, create a separate email to just handle everything wedding. That's what I did. It's been such a big lifesaver, and I can turn on alerts for that email on Gmail when I'm expecting things back from vendors or caterers. So it's been super helpful to have that like side email. But you go online, you sign up on their website, and you kind of get a consultation time where they'll sit you down for an hour and talk to you over the phone and just talk about your vision. So on the website, and I'll try to include a screenshot at some point, they ask you to fill out a lookbook that has some sample photos in it. So you can actually just go through the sample photos I have and say, I like this lace, I like this shape, I like this dress, this is cool, blah, blah, blah. And that way they can kind of get an idea of what you're looking for. And you can also upload your own photos, so you can just find online. And that's what I did. I did a mix of like choosing between what they already had, because if they had it, it meant that they could use it to make my dress. So I went through a lot of laces and was like, I love this lace is perfect. So that way I would be able to give them like more so the shape and silhouette of dresses I had seen online or tried on in person that I was like, I like this. So I uploaded everything to my lookbook, and the consultationist, the stylist I got, his name was Shelby. She was amazing. She was super helpful. I'm kind of like an agreeable person, so a lot of it was like her guiding the conversation, and I really needed that. So she would ask me like, what do you think about this? So either it was very open-ended or between two options. It wasn't like they throw 5 or 6 options at you and just say, so what do you think? Like it wasn't high pressure or anything. So after our consultation, she sent me kind of a summary email and then sent me an invoice. And that was kind of like strange to me that we got the invoice, or like I got the invoice so quickly. Hi, Barley. So quickly after the consultation, and I was super uncomfortable with the idea of paying $1,400 already for something that I hadn't seen. The sketch wasn't developed yet. So if there was one suggestion that I would have to Anomalie, and I don't know how like feasible it actually is, try to get the sketch done before having the brides pay, because I feel like maybe what is driving away a lot of potential brides is the idea of paying for something they can't imagine. And that's going back to me trying on size 12, size 10 dresses and having bride consultants just say, well, picture it. And I can't. And it was worse with Anomalie, where I was like, I have this concept with no solid, tangible idea to show for it, besides random pictures of laces and silhouettes of dresses that I don't want it to look anything like. So that was really tough. If you're like me and you need to really see it, have a vision, have faith, because the sketch, when it did come in, made me cry, which another dress wasn't able to do. But it took a lot of communication to get to that point. So I did have to pay for the dress up front, completely blind, not knowing at all at least a visual representation of what I was getting. And we talked about materials. So after you pay, they send you your fabric samples. So the fabric samples are something that you decide kind of with your consultant in the first 1 or 2 calls. I am not picky about fabric. I don't know what it's called. It's like silk something. This horrid, like, stretchy fabric that feels like what they make those, like, conference or, like, show tablecloths out of. Or, like, morph suits, if anybody still knows what those are. I don't actually know how old those are. It was just like that weird, stretchy, super heavy material, and satin to me was just like, ugh. Not hating on anyone that likes satin. I just don't like heavy materials. And my wedding is outdoors in October in North Carolina, which can still be pretty warm. So having any type of thick material was pretty much like out the window, like, ain't gonna happen. So pretty much I talked to them about that. I told them what I liked, what I didn't like, and another big thing was, how can I make it cheaper? What material can I use to pretty much reduce the cost? And they were really, really great about working with me on that. So I waited a couple weeks and then got all these samples in the mail. I'm so sorry, these are like literally all white, so these are not going to be like beneficial at all showing you on the screen. But my dress has an illusion neckline, so they send you like illusion meshes to kind of like hold up to your skin and like figure out which shade is best for you, which was really helpful. And this was like the first tangible thing that I got from them, which was really comforting. And this like cute pop-up card that's like, congrats on your engagement, woo! He's so precious. And then I got samples for my skirt. I'm actually having a detachable train on my dress because, again, the wedding is outside and it's in this there's like a narrow hallway. I just didn't want to deal with having the poof. I wanted it for the ceremony. I wanted to feel like a straight up bride. Did not want to have it for the reception. So, detachable train. Highly recommend. And they sent measuring tape for me to kind of like get all my measurements done. They also sent champagne gummy bears, but those are long gone. And then another thing they sent later on, so it's not just like you get one chance at getting samples. If you ask them to send a sample, they'll do it. I just don't recommend asking like 1,000 times because that can get annoying. But this is the lace that was going to be used on my dress. We actually found one later on that I liked better, but they had sent me the sample, so I thought I'd show you guys. So don't be afraid to ask for samples of things that they'll show you pictures of, and if you just can't quite picture it, like this lace in particular was set on a white background when they sent the pictures, so like that was kind of hard to see, but having it in my hands, being able to look at it and realizing actually there's like little clear sequins sewn into it, so it was like shiny, and I don't like shiny, was really, really helpful. So I know this is like just a video of me talking, and I wish I could show you more like pieces inside my lookbook, but I don't really know how to do that. And this is just going to be something I put up so that other brides have the chance to at least hear the testimonials from someone who's gone through the process. So my dress is in production now. I don't have any pictures of it yet, but I will kind of like upload as I go and send like an update email, but that's pretty much the bulk of the process I've experienced so far, was going through production. And actually my stylist that helped put my dress in productions, she probably got in contact with me about twice a week. She was really awesome. Her name is Rebecca. So Rebecca, if you see this, you are amazing. And me and Barley love you. So she was super sweet, super just like helpful, and would always send summaries so that I knew what we had talked about even like a week later. And I think the best part of it was that she just kept checking back. A lot of the process felt repetitive. It felt like the same questions being asked, and a lot of it was asking for clarification, which I appreciate because it's my wedding dress. I want the details to be perfect. So I'll go through really quick the ones that I actually chose. I don't know if anyone actually cares, but it just kind of helps with the process. So I ended up choosing this for my illusion neckline piece. It's the closest to my skin color. And they did send me, these were the darker ones. They have darker and the lighter ones. And then I told them I wanted an organza overskirt. So they sent me 2 samples of organza, which was really helpful because turns out I never heard of silk organza, but I hate it. So it was nice to be able to eliminate that. And then I just went with the standard poly organza. And then they sent me a tool stack up so I could understand what my skirt would actually look like. And that was just really great to have, especially when you can't have the tangible product for a long time. So it is October now. My dress has gone into production. I will receive it in late February, early March. So that's a few months, but it's not too bad. So that's what I'll leave you guys with for now. Thank you for bearing with me. If you have any questions, feel free to YouTube message. Does it do that? Comment whatever below. I'll be happy to answer. For other Anomalie brides, if you've been thinking about putting up one of these videos, do it, because I know I would have appreciated it so much to hear from more people doing my, as I was deciding to go through with it. But again, I'm sure you've read through their website. If you don't love your dress, you can get a refund at any time. And I haven't once felt like they weren't giving me like enough attention, like I was being ignored or anything. All my questions get answered in a day. And one thing I just want to call out on Rebecca for is they're on the West Coast, but I actually live in North Carolina. So I'll be getting emails that are like 10, 11 o'clock at night her time. So I can tell how dedicated she is to her work, because I'm a little bit of a workaholic myself. So to kind of imagine that there's someone else like me on the other side that's handling my dress is really reassuring. So if you're considering getting an Anomalie dress, do the quote, load your lookbook, and at least talk to somebody and figure out how much the cost is going to be. If you're like me when you first designed your dress and you got a little bit of a sticker shock, I actually originally asked Shelby, I was like, where can we cut down on the price? Because I didn't want to pay $1,400 at that time. And she talked my options over. We were going to like take off some smaller details, like lace on the overskirt and something else. I don't quite remember now, because I ended up going back and saying, no, I want it the way I originally wanted. I'll pay the $1,400. And that was honestly a really great price, because the dress, the bottom was modeled after a dress that was like $1,700. So I got a steal. It's what I feel like, at least. So yeah, don't be afraid to build out your dream dress, hear the price of it, and then kind of ask them like, well, where can we bring it down? And so they'll run through all the options with you that are going to knock off all the highest numbers first. And if you can live with them and they don't really seem to bother you, it's a great way to save money. So again, feel free to ask any questions that you might have. I've loved the process so far. Don't really have any key complaints. Yeah, I think it's been pretty great. And now I get my dream wedding dress for $1,400, which I didn't think was gonna happen. And also, it's like mine. Like no one else in the world is gonna have it, which is really, really cool. So go ahead, check them out. Feel free to ask me anything. And congrats on your engagement. It's super exciting. Just remember, people are gonna tell you it's your day and you're not really gonna feel like it's your day because there's so many people you have to make happy, and if you're a people pleaser like me, that's really hard. But just remember, at the end of it, it's a free party for everyone else. You've been to like Halloween parties or like college parties that you had no part in planning, had a great time. So just remember, people come in with expectations because it's a wedding, but by the time they get to the reception, it's just want to hang out. And don't spend more money than you originally planned to, because budgeting for a wedding sucks. I will put up another video soon about little tips and tricks that I kind of have done to help myself through the wedding planning process. But if you've stuck around this long, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Congrats again on your engagement. So exciting.